Alright guys, so Overthecap.com finally posted Joe Burrow's full contract. So now we can break it down and talk about it. I did make a video about a day ago breaking down the contract based on leaked information around the contract. And surprisingly enough, I'm actually pretty happy with myself here because I was actually very, very close to the exact numbers that we got. So 19.5, 19.5, 29.7, 29.7. 46, I was actually exactly 46 correctly, 46,250, and I actually had it, that one correctly. I was 2 million off there, I was 8 million off there, around 8-9 million off there, and then I was off 7 million here. So again, like I said, very, very close and similar. Now, of course, I was going off leaked information and not exactly like, what the contract, not many details, right, of how the contract was structured. We just kind of had information based on StripeHype.com posting this article right here, which again, like I said, we had this, and then we had, I think the other information was this one, or was it Cincinnati? No, it was CincinnatiJungle.com, which was this one right here, breaking down the, stuff. So pretty much the whole breakdown of the contract, and again, that's what I want to get into today, is as follows. So if we go ahead and just look at this real fast, this contract is a little bit different than many other contracts because Joe isn't really getting a signing bonus. What he's getting here is a $40 million roster bonus that's being pushed over a 5-year period. This way that they can avoid, the crazy signing bonus, and they can push this over so the cap isn't insane for us, and it actually works out more team-friendly over the, course of time. Now, there is a $90 million optional bonus that's added onto this contract, so it's really kind of weird, but it's a $40 million roster bonus, there's a $90 million, optional bonus, and then the rest is his actual salary. So, optional bonus pretty much is same ideal concept as a signing bonus, but there's more ways to get around with optional bonuses than you can with signing bonuses. So it's just ways to manipulate the market. I mean, the salary cap. That's pretty much all that is. So according to the contract notes right here on Overthecap.com, it says Joe Burrow signed a 5-year, $275 million contract extension with the Bengals on September 9th. Keep in mind that's a total of a 7-year, $317 million deal total. Burrow received $219 million in guarantees, of which $146 million is fully guaranteed at signing. This is pretty typical. Pretty much, even though he is fully guaranteed $219.01, it's not fully guaranteed at signing. So what they do is they say, hey, listen, you are guaranteed this amount of money if tomorrow you never play again. But we're going to guarantee your contract up to $219 million as long as you're on the roster as of this said date in the future. It's called a virtual guarantee. It's something that Lamar Jackson actually was so fighting against with the Ravens because they tried to give him like a $100 million guarantee contract, and then they tried to give him a virtual guarantee up to $200 million. And he was like, no, because if I'm hurt or I don't play, then I don't get my guaranteed money. So that's why, again, as long as Joe stays on the team past certain days, then he will be, again, virtually guaranteed. He'll get all the guaranteed money. And how his contract is, positioned is, as long as he's on the team after a certain time, he's actually going to get optional bonuses that's going to, go in effect as long as he's on the roster as is said in time. So it's, again, total of $90 million optional bonuses, which is crazy. The full guarantee is made up of Burrow's 2023, 2024, and 2025 base salaries, a $40 million signing bonus in 2023, a $55 million option bonus in 2024, a $10 million option bonus in 2025, a $4.5 million roster bonus that is paid out as a part of his prior contract. Burrow's 2026 and 2027 compensation are fully guaranteed for injury, and his 2026 salary is fully guaranteed on the 5th day of the 2025 league season. While his 2027 salary becomes fully guaranteed on the 5th day of 2027. If you're on the roster the 5th day of the 2029 year, he will earn an additional $2.5 million bonus. There's also bonuses for winning the Super Bowl. If he wins the Super Bowl, he gets $1.25 million and $500,000 for winning the AFC Championship game. And again, like I said, it's really weirdly structured and laid out. This is actually a really good example right here of someone who posted this. Based on these reports from Pro Football Focus, Burrow's 2023 cap hit will increase by $8 million from his rookie deal. The $40 million 2023 fully guaranteed roster bonus is treated as a signing bonus for preparation purposes. Pretty much preparation, just pushing the money out over a 5-year period. 2023 cap hit is pre-extension 11.5, post-extension is 19.5. So again, I actually did not realize this when I first talked about his contract, not in this video, but I think it was like a week ago, when we first heard on September 9th his contract, is that no, this contract is going to affect us over the next 2 years. It actually will affect us. So at first it was thought, okay, it won't affect us, we're good, you know, it's not going to really kick in till 2025, so we're going to be fine for the next 2 years to really work around our deals and our contracts to kind of be fine and to do whatever we want. Not the case. Because of this signing bonus, which again is a roster bonus, but in theory a signing bonus, it adds money to his cap hit for this year and next year. So that's definitely a negative that, you know, is going to impact us a lot. Which, again, like I said, it's not too crazy. It is only $8.5 million this year. And actually, no, it does not affect us next year. Just this year. $8.5 million this year, which, again, is definitely... Or $8 million this year. I don't know why I said 8.5. $8 million this year is definitely going to be annoying. Because right now we have $12 million in cap after going ahead and cutting Collins. This might be another reason why we cut Collins, in all honesty, because the fact that this is going to be an additional $8 million this year. So if you think about it like that, we have $12 million right now in cap. So if we didn't cut Collins, we would have had like around $5 million in cap, which isn't too crazy ridiculous, but having that additional $7 million is going to help us keep players like, again, 2024 here, Tyler Boyd, Jonah Williams, Cheeto, T. Higgins, Max, etc., right? Again, even though I think, personally speaking, we're going to see Jonah get, you know, I think he's going to leave, and we're going to draft a right tackle. I think Tyler's going to leave, and I think we're going to sign T, and we're probably going to sign Cheeto. But going back to his contract, though, and let's actually go ahead and break this down. So, starting off right away, I talked about it in many videos, but they are going to be using voidable years for this contract. It's 3 total voidable years. Now, just a quick rundown if you don't know what voidable years are. Voidable years are, in theory, fake years added to the end of a contract. Voidable years, in theory, are pretty much years that the player is no longer on the roster, but that money is still owed to that player as of the league year that said year. So pretty much think of it like this. That player got cut in 2030. So let's say, in theory, let's say he does not get a new contract, right? And 33 years old, Joe Burrow retires, knock on wood, that never happens. Let's say, in theory, he did, right? That means in 2030, he would be owed $5 million, right? Even if he's not on the roster, he's still owed $5 million in 2030. In 2031, he's owed $3 million. In 2032, he's owed $1 million. Does not matter if he's on the roster or not. Now, if he gets a new contract, let's say we re-sign him in 2029 to a new 5-6 year contract, he's, whatever his contract salary is for that said year, you have to add $5 million. Because this is fully guaranteed money that he is going to get, and he's going to get no matter what. So, it's interesting that they're pushing out the only $9 million of that over a 3-year period. I thought they would push a lot more money of this. We saw with Jalen Hurts' contract, actually, they pushed out a crap ton of money. We go to the Philadelphia Eagles, we go to Jalen Hurts. Right here, you can see they pushed out his signing bonus of $97.5 million. They pushed that out of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 year period. Right? You can see it breaks down like this: 29, 19, and 9.9. So they broke it down over those said periods because, again, they wanted to take away from the salary cap. They wanted to take away from the contract. So again, if you think of it like the concept of, okay, it's 275, right? Over a 5-year period, you can break that down to 55 a year, right? That's 5 years, 55 a year. But instead of doing that, you can break that down and say, we're going to take, like, you know, as they're doing right here, $40 million of that, We're going to take that and we're going to separate it over 5 years, or push it in an additional 5 years after the contract's over, and take that money and divide it so it gets away from the salary cap. That's pretty much what the voidable years are. And that's kind of what they did with Jalen Hurts, but they did not do that with Joe Burrow, surprisingly enough. They only pushed $9 million in the future. But a lot of the reason why I think they did that was because of the fact they were able to do the roster bonus concept, and that roster bonus, is, again, in theory, a signing bonus. They use that roster bonus to put $40 million and push that toward the future, and they pushed that toward these years right here. So they were able to push it over a 5-year period, which, again, is a total of $40 million. Actually, how did they separate this? They put it $8 million a year, right? $8 million a year, 40. That's 5. That's definitely, guys. It is 6 a.m. in the morning. Okay, yeah, I knew it was 5. Okay, I don't want to hear it. 5-year period, which is the max you can push a salary cap down the line. So they put it over a 5-year period. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they went ahead and pushed $8 million a year on those years, which again covers up the $40 million signing bonus. And then the other bonuses, the optional bonuses, they just pushed that over the years too. And again, $9 million ended up being the excess of that. So again, like I said, very, very interesting. They did a good job. They really did a good job. Now, what does this mean for us? Right? What does this mean for us? Because that's a lot of money you're looking at on the table right there. $316 million. You're looking at salary caps, because honestly, I think the average football fan, you're saying, I don't care about the left-hand side of that screen. I care about the right one. That cap hit is what I care about. Correct. You should. The cap hit is actually the most important thing to care about in all this. If you take everything I say here and just throw it out, the window and shred it in a shredder, this is what you should care about. The cap hit. Now, the cap hit at the end of the day, the cap every single year goes up higher and higher, right? So, for example, he could have structured his contract 5 years, $55 million a year, and we would have been in the hole. We would have been destroyed, okay? We would have been, begging for our mamas, in theory, right? But instead, that's not the case. So, even a $19.5 million cap hit, which is plus $8 million, is not bad at all. 19.5 for a starting quarterback who just got paid big money is actually so nice and awesome. Now 29.7, that's a 5th-year option that's fully guaranteed. So that's why, overall wise, you can see, that's why, right? That number is there for that reason. Outside of that, 46.2 again is not really that crazy. In 3 years, the salary cap is going to go through the roof, and it's going to continue to rise and go crazy. So again, 46 million in 3 years is the equivalent of maybe 35 today, right? And then 48, again, same thing. In 4 years is going to be the equivalent of 35 million today. So overall wise, even though these numbers look very high and very insane and very crazy, this is a team-friendly deal. This is a very much a team-friendly deal. You got to keep in mind, when Lamar Jackson got his contract, or Jalen Hurts, for example, I know we just talked about him, his signing bonus, I don't know if it shows it on here, but his signing bonus, I believe, am I correct, was $97.5 million. Lamar Jackson's signing bonus, let me go ahead and pull up Lamar Jackson. I know Lamar Jackson actually says exactly what his signing bonus was on here. I believe if this does actually load, there we go. Lamar Jackson's signing bonus was 90. Where's his signing bonus? Cash payout. Nope. 35, fully guaranteed. $72.5 million signing bonus. That was his signing bonus coming from the contract, right? So once he signs, he gets $72.5 million. And again, the Ravens kind of did the same concept. They just voided this out of a 12.5 of that contract out over a 2-year period. And they were able to push the signing bonus down with the prorated bonuses over the years to avoid the problems. And Joe could have done that. Joe could have said, listen, I want $73, $74 million signing bonus. But instead, he didn't do that. right? And that helps us out immensely right now. Because him taking a $40 million signing bonus, roster bonus theory, is very, very nice at this moment in time, because you can separate that over 5 years and it becomes $8 million a year, and it doesn't become something crazy like 12, 13 extra million a year, right? So he did take a very good team-friendly deal there. Now again, the 90 million optional bonus is, again, that's another thing you can push over a time period, and that's what they're doing. That, again, still lets us be able to push it toward the future. It's not the best contract of all time. It's not, right? I mean, in theory, he could have been Tom Brady about this and took a Tom Brady friendly deal and got paid, $12 million a year, right? But at the same time, it worked out for him to get his money that he deserves, and for us to still be able to work around the salary cap and work with our players. So I gotta give him props for that. But guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.